So you finally decided to start investing. You downloaded an app, you added some money, you felt very adult about it, and then you opened the screen and got hit with a wall of words that looked like they were generated by a keyboard having a seizure. Bull, bear, ticker, dividend, PE ratio, market cap, ask, bid, yield, and you just sat there, a confused little stickman nodding slowly like, yes, yes, those are definitely words. Here's the thing nobody tells you. The stock market isn't actually complicated. It just has a vocabulary problem. It's like walking into a fancy coffee shop and being too scared to order because everyone's saying venti, half-calf, oat milk macchiato, and you just want a coffee. Once you know the words, the fear disappears. So today, I'm going to walk you through every stock market term you'll actually run into, in the order you'll actually meet them, explained so simply that by the end, that scary wall of jargon is going to look like a kid's menu. I'm Max. I have no face, no job, and a brokerage account I check far too often. If you've ever felt dumb looking at a stock screen, you won't by the end of this video. Hit subscribe, drop a like, and let's decode this thing. Before the fancy words, the foundation. A stock is just ownership in a company, that's it. When you buy a stock, you literally own a tiny piece of that business. If a company were a giant pizza cut into a million slices, one stock is one slice. Congratulations, you own pizza. Each individual slice is called a share. People use stocks and shares almost interchangeably, but technically, stock is the concept of ownership, a share is one unit of it. I own stock in Apple and I own 10 shares of Apple are both correct. Don't overthink it. Now, why does a company chop itself into slices and sell them to strangers? To raise money. Building a business is expensive, and instead of begging a bank for a loan they'd have to repay with interest, they sell ownership. The cash they get doesn't need to be paid back. The first time a company does this publicly, opening itself up for anyone to buy, is called an IPO, an initial public offering. That's the company's big debut on the stock market. Going public, the day it puts its slices out on the open shelf. So where do you actually buy these slices? A stock exchange. Think of it as a giant marketplace for company ownership. The two famous ones in the US are the NYSE, New York Stock Exchange, and the NASDAQ. You don't physically go there. No need to put on a suit and yell on a trading floor. You buy straight from your phone. And the app you use to do it, that's a brokerage or broker. It's the middleman that connects you to the exchange. Think of the exchange as the mall and your brokerage as the car that drives you there. Every company on the exchange has a ticker symbol, a short little code, usually 1 to 5 letters. That's its nickname. Apple is AAPL, Tesla is TSLA, Coca-Cola is KO. Instead of typing the whole company name, you just punch in the ticker. It's like a username for stocks. Okay, you found your stock. Now you're staring at numbers. Let's decode them. The bid is the highest price a buyer is currently willing to pay. The ask is the lowest price a seller is willing to accept. And the tiny gap between them is the spread. Picture a yard sale. You offer $5, the bid, the seller wants $7, the ask, and that $2 awkward silence between you is the spread. When you actually want to buy, you'll choose an order type. A market order says, just buy it right now at whatever the current price is. Fast, but you don't control the exact price. A limit order says only buy it if it hits this price or better. More control, but it might never happen. Market order is grabbing the coffee no matter the cost. Limit order is waiting for it to go on sale. Then there's volume, the number of shares being traded. High volume means lots of people are buying and selling. It's a busy, lively stock. Low volume is a ghost town, which can make it harder to buy or sell quickly. This is where people get fooled. A stock priced at $5 is not cheaper than one priced at $500. The price of one share tells you almost nothing about the size of the company. What matters is market cap, short for market capitalization. Market cap is the total value of the whole company, share price multiplied by the number of shares. A company with a $10 share price and 1 billion shares is way bigger than one with a $500 share price and 1,000 shares. You'll hear stocks sorted by this. Large cap companies are the giant established names. Mid cap are the growing up nicely middle. Small cap are the little, riskier, higher potential ones. Big, medium, small. That's the whole spectrum. Now, the two animals you've definitely heard. A bull market is when prices are rising and everyone's optimistic. Picture a bull thrusting its horns up. A bear market is when prices are falling and everyone's gloomy. Picture a bear swiping its paw down. Easy way to remember. Bull equals up, bear equals down. If you're feeling positive about a stock, you're bullish. If you think it's going to drop, you're bearish. And when the market suddenly drops a lot in a short time, that's a correction, a moderate dip. Or if it's really bad, a crash. When prices are swinging around wildly, up and down, day to day, that's volatility. High volatility means a stomach-churning roller coaster. Low volatility means a calm little merry-go-round. Here's the fun part. Some companies share their profits directly with you, the owner, through dividends. It's a little payment, usually every few months, just for holding the stock. Free money for owning pizza. Not every company pays them. Younger, fast-growing companies often reinvest everything instead, but the ones that do are popular with people who want steady income. The dividend yield tells you how much you're getting relative to the price. If a stock costs $100 and pays $3 a year in dividends, that's a 3% yield. It's just the percentage return from dividends alone, so you can compare different stocks fairly. These next few are the ones that scare beginners the most, and they're honestly not bad once you slow down. The PE ratio, price to earnings ratio, is basically how expensive a stock is relative to how much money the company actually makes. Think of it as the stock's price tag compared to its paycheck. A high PE means investors expect big future growth or the stock's overhyped. A low PE might mean it's a bargain or that something's wrong. It's a quick, is this pricey or cheap gauge, not a full answer, just a clue. Earnings are simply the company's profit. 4 times a year, companies report them in what's called earnings season, and stocks can jump or tank based on whether they beat or missed expectations. Revenue, by the way, is the total money coming in before expenses. Earnings are what's left after. Revenue is everything you earned. Earnings are what you actually got to keep. A portfolio is just the collection of everything you own, all your stocks and investments in one basket. And diversification is the golden rule. Don't put everything into one stock. Spread it around so if one slice goes bad, your whole lunch isn't ruined. As the saying goes, don't put all your eggs in one basket, unless you enjoy stress. ETF, Exchange Traded Fund. Instead of buying one company's slice, an ETF is like a pre-made sampler platter of many companies bundled into one purchase. Buy a single ETF and you instantly own a little piece of hundreds of companies. It's diversification on easy mode, which is why beginners love them. And blue chip stocks, these are the big, boring, reliable companies that have been around forever and rarely surprise anyone. The name comes from poker, where blue chips are the most valuable. Think of the household names you've trusted your whole life. Not exciting, but they let you sleep at night. Quick reality check on why people accept all this. A bank savings account might give you 1 to 2% a year. The stock market has historically averaged around 7 to 10% a year over the long term. That gap is why people put up with the roller coaster. But, and Max is going to be very serious for 1 second, higher returns always come with higher risk. The market goes down sometimes. That's not a glitch. That's the deal you signed up for. Never invest money you'll need next month. And never invest in something just because a stranger online won't stop yelling about it. So let's recap the journey. You now know what a stock and a share are, where they're traded, how to read the price, how to measure a company's real size, the mood of the market, how you get paid, and the fancy ratios that used to look like alphabet soup. That scary wall of words, you just knocked it down brick by brick. Here's the truth most beginners never hear. You don't need to know every term to start. You need to know enough to not feel stupid, and you're already past that. The rest you'll pick up naturally, the same way you learned to order coffee. So here's your move. Pick one company you actually understand and admire, one you'd be proud to own a slice of, and go look up its ticker, its market cap, and whether it pays a dividend. Don't buy anything yet, just read it. Practice speaking the language. Then come back and comment on the ticker of the first company you looked up, so I know you did it. And if this finally made the stock market make sense, subscribe. Because next time, we're breaking down exactly how to buy your very first stock step by step without sweating through your shirt. Because the market was never too complicated for you. It was just speaking a language nobody bothered to teach you. And now, you're basically fluent.